Hey guys, it's Kamal from Shadow Empire. I'm not big into doing videos like this, but I decided to do one to help out the people starting with Archeage Unchained. There's a lot of new players coming, a lot of returning players that have a lot of doubts. So we joined PTS and we tried a couple things, and here this is pretty much what we found out so far. Um, Races. Don't worry about it too much. Gameco said they were gonna level at the same speed, and so far that's true. So just choose whatever you want to play. Um, they do have specific skills for each race, but they're not game changers. So don't worry about it too much. Pick your class. Um, Try to learn the skills, learn the combos as you level up, and that's really important that you get that memory muscle, the muscle memory of how to use those skills and all. Leveling. A lot of people are talking about rushing the storyline quests. It starts at chapter 1 and runs through. It's quite lengthy. And you're probably going to be doing them for quite a while. As you can see, this quest right here have a purple marker on them. The storyline will be green, the side quests will be yellow. The purple one means they are dailies, so you can repeat them every day, every 24 hours. For whatever reason, a lot of them have many different rewards that you will need throughout the game. So a lot of people are talking about and this is something to consider. They are talking about rushing the storyline quests, not doing side quests, all through these zones until you get to Halcyon. One thing that might happen is when you get here, you're under leveled, and it's gonna be real hard for you to kill the mobs. If you are questing with a group of people, this will be a good option, because once you get here, um, the group of you can kill the mobs quite faster, and it's really a viable option. One thing to look out for is when you get to Cinder, you're already gonna be on a contested zone. You can see it says danger level 2. This goes from level 1 through 5, and once it goes past 5, it goes into a war period. The war period for contested zones are usually an hour and 30 minutes, and right after war they get an hour and 10 peace period. This is a good time to quest because nobody can touch you. You can run around freely and you can kill things as you wish. Um, if you're gonna quest solo, one thing to consider is do all the side quests on the peaceful zones, because these areas nobody can kill you. Um, and then once you get here, you're gonna be on a higher level, and you might be able to skip a lot of the quests in Halcyon, a lot of the quests in House Swamp, and so on and so forth, because from this point on, all you're gonna do is quest on contested zones. Halcyon, House Swamp, Sand Deep, also Cinder. So it's Cinder, Halsey, House Swamp, Sand Deep, and then they're gonna send you to the other continent: Rockborn Basin, Windscour, Paranor, and Hazla, and then back to Carcassi. These are all contested areas where PvP can happen. If you're with the group is better. If you're questing in solo, you just gotta watch out or time it to whenever these areas are in peace. There is gonna be a lot of fighting. A lot of people are gonna want to do PvP early in the game to try out their skills. It's avoidable, but not always. So your options are quest here until you get a really good level and skip some of these, or rush through and do all the quests on these areas until until you catch up with level. But make sure you are not too low level once you go through these, because it's gonna get really hard to kill the mobs. Other thing when you're leveling, and this is very important, as you level you're gonna go through towns, and they have these big buildings called community centers, so you can see with the name of the NPC. And right next to each community center you're gonna see public farms. Public farms, the first thing are places, the public farms are the first area that you can plant something and it's protected, nobody can touch it for 72 hours. This billboard here will show you what you can plant, but it's up to a total of 5 items. So the first thing I really advise people on the west side to do is put down at least 1, maybe 2 sheeps. You're gonna need the wool to do a very important quest for the next area, for the land rush I mean. And the sheep you can buy on the livestock merchant, you can see here it's called lamb. It's a goat 25, and you also gonna need combined feed to feed the lamb and get the wool. If you don't need any more wool, you can put this down and sacrifice it to get meat and get leather. Those are gonna be very important, but you have a lot of different options for that. You can put down a pig, you can put down a cow, you can put down a buffalo. Later on as you go you're gonna learn more and more, but very, very important. As soon as you get to a public farm, put down a sheep and or 2, and if you can, put down a couple seeds of stuff that can be turned into ground grain. Stuff that can be turned into ground grain: millet, corn, rice, and barley. I don't think there's any other one that you can put down at the very beginning, but if you see anything on the ground, on the wild, while you're questing and you can grab it. Make sure it's not at a small stage where it's still growing. If it's harvestable, just harvest it, because you are gonna need as much as you can get. The reason being is you're gonna get a quest line for your first scarecrow farm. This is already the second quest, but the first one is to get a donkey. You're gonna need 300 ground grain, and you're gonna need 10 wool just to craft a pack, get your donkey, and unlock this quest. This quest can only be done at level 50. You don't have to do the donkey quest before level 50. You can do it if you want to, but this one you can only do as a level 50. You have to go to 2 crowns to the trade outlet, buy a cargo, jump on the ferry. There is a boat, an NPC boat that goes back and forth, and they also gonna give you a captain protection ticket that you could buy with vocation if you want to. It's this one right here, and once you use this on the NPC, nobody can kill you while you're on the boat. So you go deliver the cargo, you get a 16x16 farm design and 50 tax certs. For those that are gonna do the land rush, this is very, very important to do. The other quest that important to do for land rush is once you get to Halsey in Solisa, there's gonna be an NPC with a green quest on top of his head, but it's not the exclamation point, it's like a flower, a green flower on top of his head, and most likely he's gonna have the blue salt title on his name. Those quests are usually for vocation or for things related to farming or trading packs. Um, so whenever you see one of those, make sure to grab it. Make sure to complete it. This quest is gonna take you to here, the community center in Halcyona, and from here you're gonna complete the quest to get a 8x8 scarecrow design and a couple tax certs, and then you can go to Marianople. Inside the Marion Hall, in the very back left hand side, there's going to be an NPC called Edward. He will have that flower quest on top of his head, and that's where you start the donkey. I'm pretty sure he unlocks at level 30. You might have to do this one for the 8x8 first, not 100% sure, but in any case you don't have to do the donkey until you're level 50. So just go through, grab this quest. It's gonna teach you how to make potions on alchemy. Go through all those quests and make sure to do the 8x8 one right here. The alchemy chain quest, it's gonna take you across the continent. Once you get to Paranor, right here it's gonna ask you for a farm cart. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. You will get it later. You can complete this later. It's not that important right now. Just, you know, if you can do it, do it. If not, don't worry too much about it. So, you know, starting zones, areas like Soulsreed, Gwynedd Forest, and Iron Rock, they all have the same community centers. As long as you have the gold, buy your sheep, put down, and plant some seeds, some farming seeds, some grains. The other thing that will help you level up is kill tasks. Each type of mob has a hidden quest on them. Not 100% sure it's all of them, but usually they unlock after you kill 20 of the same type, of the same name mob. You can try that, but it could be that you're sitting there killing a mob for too long, and that's no good. But if you do happen to have to kill more than 20, you will see this hidden quest popping on your screen, and they give you a good amount of XP. Then one thing that I think people will have to decide is whether they're going for the focus on the land rush 4 days after launch, or if they gonna grind their levels to gear up faster. Keep in mind that you will get to the top level, you get your higher on gear before everybody else, but if you do not farm, you will be locked down for the gold requirement, because a higher end requires gold and labor to progress. So if you are going for the land rush, the one thing that you're gonna have to focus is acquiring Gilded Stars. Gilded Stars is a currency that you use to buy things in Mirage Isle. Whenever you see this portal, it takes you to an instance zip zone called Mirage Isle, and you can go there. There are houses, model houses, and right in front of them there are little miniatures of the house, and you can buy the designs for that specific house. They were talking about the 16 by 16 house costing 100 Gilded Stars. There is a 24 by 24 Manor house that's gonna cost 200 Gilded Stars, and there are some smaller ones that will cost less. So depending on how much of these gilded stars you can acquire, you're gonna have to figure out how you wanna spend it. So I'm gonna give you a couple ways to get gilded star. One of the main ways for the beginning of the game, it's gonna be these guys here, Blue Salt Brotherhood. They're right here in Marinople, but you can find them in Esna in 2 Crowns, and you can find them in Sea Child Wharf and Cinderstone. They are the exact same quest, just different areas that you can acquire the quest. One of the quests will require you to feed these vases back here with 30 items. Could be ground grain, ground spice, chopped produce, or dried flowers. The other quest, this guy gives you 2 quests. One to raise a horse. This is the quest. You have to go to Wharton in Soulsreed and raise this horse on the corral over there. And then you gotta go to Gwynedd Forest and raise an elk. The Gwynedd Forest one, it's about right here in this area. And they also gonna give you a quest for Dewstone, where you just go by and grab a couple items right here. You can see I have the quest. In this area, just a couple barrels on the ground. You grab 8 of them and the quest is completed. So it takes about 30 minutes maybe to do. 5 gilded stars a day. Really good, really important. The other way is, as you level up, keep an eye on your achievements. You can see every level, pretty much you're gonna unlock new achievements. You don't really have to be at the specific level to complete them, but as you level up, you're gonna be given items that will allow you to complete these achievements. So keep an eye, read them. Some of them are really easy. Some of them requires you to use some basic skills. So you just open and go into basic and look for the skill you have to use. They will give you the big bulk of gilded stars that you're gonna make throughout the game at the beginning. The green quest also gives you gilded stars, so it's pretty good to follow the quest line, the storyline, because they give you gilded stars all the time. And other ways are gonna be daily quests and daily events. One quest that you can do is in 2 Crowns in Asna, but at the harbor. Just come out to the Asna harbor right here, right about here. There's gonna be a quest asking you to kill jellyfish or sea bugs. For most people, they're gonna be too strong at the beginning, so the easiest way to do them is come out here to Soulsreed, about right here in the water where this mark is. You can swim down to the bottom of the water, and there's gonna be baby jellyfish there. They're way easier to kill. There's like 5 or 6 of them on the same spot. Really fast respawn, so just watch your oxygen bar, because you can drown and die and then you have to come back here, and it just takes more time. But you kill 15 of them here, go back, turn in the quest, go back to 2 Crowns and turn in the quest, and it's another easy gilded star. One thing that gives a lot of gilded stars is the world events. You can go into the calendar and go under events. Some of them are set to in-game time, like this field here, and some of them are set to real life time. These are hard. You're gonna learn to track them with your depending on your time zone and all. these happen in game. So Green Hash Rift, it's one that gives quite a bit of Gilded Stars. It happens every day at midnight. So you can mouse over here. You can see it's 3 in the morning, so it already happened. Green Hash happens at midnight. Chrism Rift happens at noon. Oblivion Rift, you're gonna get the quest to do this one early in the game in Lilith. You might not be able to complete it at first. You could complete it if you join a group of people, but it does give you 1 Gilded Star, and once you get a couple levels, it's pretty easy to solo even if there's nobody there. Chrism Rift Aurora is the same one as the Chrism Rift up here, but it's in a different zone. So if you complete this one, you do not have to worry about this one. These events right here on the bottom, a lot of them will only be like later on in the game. You need a certain gear level, a certain gear score to be able to do them, or to be able to survive them at least. So don't worry about them for now, but keep an eye if you see anything on chat. People usually will post X up for CR, which is Chrism Rift, or X up for GR, which is Green Hash Rift, or they will post like this orange links on Nation chat that you can click and join, and it will say the name of the event that they are recruiting for. So really important, these two at least you're gonna have to do them, or you will want to do them every day throughout a really long time, because you can use the honor, you can use the infusions that they give, and you can use the Gilded Stars. Very important events to do. As far as Gilded Stars, there's supposed to be 40 available Gilded Stars per day by doing dailies and events. I think it might not be possible to get that many at the very beginning of the day every day, at the very beginning of the game every day, because of gear and level requirements, or just the fact that you're not strong enough to survive. But there are a lot, and I'm sure there are lists of it out there. I'll try to post one once I post the video. Now, one thing that's going to help you a lot leveling, and it's going to be also very important for your land rush, is your labor. Labor, every time you use labor, there is a ratio in between gaining XP throughout spending labor. And it's a very good ratio. It's a very good way to get experience. But labor is limited. The new labor system, new players are gonna have to learn them. Returning players are also, or old players even, are gonna have to learn this. It's a mix of the old system and something new. The way it's gonna work now is you have a 5,000 labor pool that's account wide, that you can swap characters and spend on a different character. Those 5,000 you will share with other characters on the same account. And this pool regens every 5 minutes. It regens 10 labor. Doesn't matter if you're online or if you're offline. It regens up to 5,000. Once it hits 5,000, it stops until you spend some labor. The second labor pool, which is what they added to the labor system. This is new for everybody. is you're gonna have a 3,000 labor pool, which is, you can see on the top of this window, that's highlighted in green. This labor pool is server bound, so you cannot spend it on other characters. And the only way to regen this pool, the server bound pool, is using what you're gonna acquire with ARC passes that are called bound labor recharge. So far from what we can see in PTS, the only way to get these are through the ARC pass. Alright, so each ARC pass in different tiers, you get some of them. But the way this works is, the more you use, the less valuable this item becomes, in a way that the first time you use this item, it restores 1,000 labor. But once you use one, the next one will only restore 975. If you use it again, like I did, now you only restores 971. So it's, the more you use, the less it recharges, and it can go down to 0. You can see on the very bottom of the window that it says good, normal, and bad. Those levels change based on how much labor recharges you use. So I would say it's not a real bad thing to use as long as you're sitting on a good level. Sometimes you feel the need to use more, but I would really restrain yourself against that, because you're gonna be wasting labor that you're pretty much gonna need later on. So, very important thing, if you are going for the land rush, hold on to these ones. You will have to craft tax certs depending on how many designs you have, and you will need this. You will have to use them at your discretion, depending on how many designs you have. If you don't know how to open your ARC Pass, you click on the calendar, go under the ARC Pass tab, click register. You have 4 options right here. You have the most basic one, which gives you the rewards. You only pay a copper to initiate it. If you want the premium version, you gotta pay 10 gold, and you get the basic reward and the premium reward. Right now you can see Gilded Stars. They said they're gonna change it. I don't know what they're gonna put in here. If these would to stay, this would be a good thing for the land rush, but I doubt it will. One thing you need to know is, every time you register one ARC Pass, it gives you 3 quests. The 4th one you have to buy the premium to unlock, and these have a cost to activate. They made it weekly, so if you focus on the basic ARC Pass, for example, you only have to pay the cost once a week. This one costs 5 Gilded Stars. This one costs 2 Blue Salt Hammers, which it's a gold each, and this one costs 10 Gilded Stars. Thing is, let's say you got this one to tier 2. Let's say you got the basic ARC Pass to tier 2, and you get this reward, and then now you want to swap to the Vacation Pass to get the labor recharges. Whenever you swap in between them, you have to pay the cost to unlock the quests again. So keep in mind, if you keep swapping between, thinking that you're gaining, you know, by getting the rewards, you might be losing on Gilder stars and really messing up your land rush. So it's really something that you have to figure out what you want to do. If you're going for a land rush, I really advise you not to swap in between them too much. Um, there is not a specific one that's better for the land rush. Um, Later on in the game, the vocation one is good for farmers. Equipment is good for upgrading your equipment, as it says, because it gives you honor. You will need a lot of honor to buy stuff to put in your gear. And the combat one will help you get PvP items that will help you make you stronger on PvP. So the basic arc pass might be the way to go for the beginning of the game. Level it up as much as you want. There's not really a special, that big of a special reward at the end, I don't think. You know, there's just 1500 vocation, right? But the vocation pass has this one, which is, I don't even know what this rogue does, to be honest. This is a battle pet, and this one gives you a glider. So depending what you're looking for, these are things to consider. Another way to get Gilded Stars, it's also on every contested area. If you go inside the community centers, on the left hand side there will be an NPC that sells hunting quests. Some areas have 5, some areas have 2, some areas have 3, but they are sold by the NPC for 1 gold each, and you have to kill like 12 specific mobs for each one of them. But they're really good. They will give you experience, they will give you Gilded Stars, they will give you the guild experience, and they will help you level up. So they're really good things to acquire, but you can only acquire them in contested areas, which are the ones that can go through the cycles of peace, war, and danger. So those are things to consider. Another things to be really on top of on early game that will help you a lot in the long run. Make sure you are in the guild as soon as you join the game, or as early as possible, because as much as you level, for each level you gain, the guild gains experience. Leveling the guild is pretty good because it gives you buffs, and the higher level the guild gets, the stronger the buff gets. And you also gonna get prestige, which is there's a shop, a guild shop for prestige, for things that you definitely need, but you can see some of them only unlock on certain levels of the guild. So make sure you join a guild as soon as you can, and also make sure you join a family. Family are really important. They also give you a buff depending on the level of the family. You don't have to be in a family. I mean, it would be good if you're in a family with somebody that you know, but if you don't know anybody, just asking guild, somebody will definitely invite you, because they want to level this as fast as they can. At first you can have up to 10 members in a family. The way you create one is you go to the general merchant, buy a family ticket for 1 gold, and then you can just send an invite to someone to join the family. Every time you're gonna invite somebody, you need a family certificate to do the invite. And then the family unlocks quests. There are 3 daily quests. This one you can only do if you own land in a certain area. Wherever you own a house, it has to be a house of any type, you can complete this quest to get 1,000 vocation and other rewards. This one you have to do with your family members. Just go to the community center. There will be a quest giver right in front of the community center, and there's like 4 or 5 different quests. It's random each day, and you get vocation. This one is a really important one. You have to go to the trading outlet in 2 crowns and buy a cargo pack. Jump on the ferry the same way you're gonna do for the 16 by 16 quest. You do this every day. Reason being is every time you do this, you get vocation badges, you get the family XP, but you also get onyx. Onyx, it's gonna be a very important item that you will be using to craft a lot of things, especially your Luna gems to gem your gear. So you will need onyx right here. So onyx arcane essence, it's going to be really important. If you do the family quest every day, you get 20 per character, and you can do multiple characters on the same account. It's character, the quest is per character, not per account, so keep that in mind too. As far as anything else, I think if I have forgotten anything, I've been trying to rush through so I don't forget, so the video doesn't get too lengthy. I'm not gonna edit this video, so whatever mistakes, I'm sorry. And if there are any questions that you guys want to answered, make sure you ask, and I'll be making sure to try to answer. Just one thing real fast, we found that leveling, when you get to level 50, one of the best areas to farm will be Western Highland. The mobs are not that hard to kill, and they give really good experience. Or if you can get to Archeage Island, also great experience. A little harder to kill, but very good experience. So once you get to level 50, that you don't have any more quests to do and you have to start that grinding process, these are the 2 places to go: Western Highland and Archeage Island. Way to get Western Highland, go to Diamond Shores, you will get free port there. Go to Redwing, you can ride from Diamond Shores up through the mountains to Redwing. Go to Redwing and there is a road right here, and you get to Western Highland. You don't have to have quests there, just kill the mobs, whatever you feel is easier for you to kill. It's different for each class, so make sure you get that grind going. If anything else, any questions, please ask. Enjoy the game, hope to see you guys in the game, and peace.